Picture this with me if you can. The day is coming, not too far from now, and we'll be sitting with our grandchildren around us, good Lord willing. And I'll be able to look them in their little eyes and tell them that there was one moment in time, one day in the life of their grandfather, when his thoughts were the most elevated of any man's in all of Australia. Or at least the gray matter that purportedly produced those thoughts, right? And I'll leave it to you to explain why it is that I'm so sure of this fact.
We climbed Mount Kosciuszko together.
Finally.
Finally, on our second attempt.
First one in the middle of winter, this one not so much.
Early May, it was gorgeous.
But we
absolutely stunning.
We got to the top of Australia's highest peak, and today we're taking you along with us to see some of the sights along the way.
Chris and I were privileged to accompany some high school students on an excursion to Canberra, and we took the opportunity to travel with them the 3 hours south of Canberra to the Snowy Mountains. They're famous for the Man from Snowy River movie that some of you may or may not know.
Every wombat hole was death.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the wombats we saw once again were dead along the side of the road.
Besides the wombats, there were a lot of living deer and kangaroo as we traveled down past Lake Jindabyne and started to climb up through the mountains. Unlike our last journey, there was no snow. The air was brisk, but it wasn't freezing. And we went up a ski lift and got ourselves about 1 kilometer below where we needed to begin for the hike. So it was quite an energetic rock scramble right through the snowy gums, which are really, really gorgeous eucalyptus, which has kind of orange and purple stripes on the trunks.
Where did you see these?
Stop.
No, I was just focused on getting my feet up the path.
It was pretty tough going, but I was stopping to look at trees and take photographs.
And while you were doing that, I was trying to block the sounds of shrill young ladies in my ears. We seem to have chosen the day to be there along with many girls' schools.
Yes.
All of whom were in fine form and enjoying the great outdoors.
And Chris always seems to land up next to girls that shriek.
It's the whole thing.
Anyway, up we went, and it was very beautiful to go into the area where we were before, but was completely obliterated 4 years ago by snow, and realize the incredible rock formations that were hidden by these drifts, and look down over the valley whenever we pleased, not just the one moment that we had before, and begin the long 14-kilometer return track steadily up, basically right along the ridges of the mountains.
Yeah, once you get up there, it's actually quite an easy walk, and there's for much of the way a metal walkway that you're hiking along. That's to help hikers not destroy the natural landscape. And so that gave us plenty of time for sightseeing and enjoying these beautiful vistas.
There were many hikers with us besides the girls from the girls' schools, including several elderly couples who've been climbing there since their 20s. I had a lovely chat with several of the other hikers.
Wouldn't exactly call it a highlight, but some of our students definitely appreciated the opportunity to use what's touted as Australia's highest toilets, or loos as we say, thoughtfully positioned below the final scramble to the peak, so that's good.
Right before you do the final ascent to the peak, you can look over Lake Kutapatemba, which is Australia's highest freshwater lake. It was glacial. You can see that by the amazing deposits there, the alluvial deposits.
And it really is quite awe-inspiring to stand there looking out across this lake and then see range upon range of hills, mountains beyond, and to know that there are very few people out there, and to experience creation in such an isolated and beautiful place.
John Muir said, "I hear the mountains calling and I must go." And it's certainly the feeling you get as you do the last ascent.
Was that before or after he reached the toilet?
I knew you were going to say that.
Just asking for a friend.
But what I really loved, when I wasn't looking down at the exquisite Arctic flora, I was looking up at the beautiful formations of rock. As we walked along, there were little signposts telling us about the indigenous people that lived there and their attitude and relationship with the land. In their tradition, they wouldn't actually go to some of those highest peaks because they felt they were just too close then to the spirit world. And I can only imagine what it must be like there at night with the stars and the moon. The wind was brisk and really picked up as we got to the very top of the mountain, and we were very grateful for our many layers of clothing, including big Arctic jackets. And it was delightful to meet the many other exuberant climbers at the top, and we all posed for pictures and just captured the moment and soaked it up. We really did.
We did, and Norann did her thing and busied herself taking photos of other people for them. If you guys are ever stuck and you need somebody to come grab your phone and take a picture for you, just call Norann. She'll be right over.
I just love it. I see these couples and they're like separated because one's taking the photo of the other, and you know they actually want to be in the moment together. So I'll just say, "Can I take your photo?" And they just love it.
There's an app for that, though.
But then somebody very graciously took our photo. And then we sat down behind some big boulders to protect ourselves from the wind, enjoyed lunch, and just exulted in the fact that we'd made it there. I grew up climbing a lot of mountains. I started in the Schwungums, and then when we were older, the Catskills, and then when we were teenagers, the Adirondacks. So mountains have a huge pull on me. I'm not ashamed to say it. And climbing Kosciuszko was a great reminder of the pure beauty of mountains, their terror, their awe, their wonder. And if you are in Australia and have the opportunity and ability to climb Kosciuszko, go for it. Wherever you are in the world, if you are able to climb a mountain or drive up a mountain, do it. There's something very wondrous and majestic.
I climbed a mountain and then I turned around.
Did the landslide take it down?
Fortunately, no. Guys, this is devolving into a silly video. We hope you enjoyed this little visit, and we hope if you do get to Australia that you see some of its beauty, just like Norann described. They say Kosciuszko in summer is absolutely exquisite.
Yes, I would recommend December or January. People were saying that it's just an exquisite.
The alpine meadows are in full bloom.
And unless you're into skiing, stay away June, July.
Meantime, take care, and God bless every single one of you.
And we'll talk soon.
Bye for now.